screen too.
And I'm going to mute all participants. So, because I know you guys don't have the ability to. So Nicole and Katie, unmute yourself in a second. Okay, so you should be able to unmute yourself. And then I'm going to mute myself. Recording is going. We're good to go.
Awesome. Can you guys see my screen? Sweet.
Yes.
Okay, so tonight Nicole and I are going to talk to you all about our biggest takeaways from the New Leaders Conference that we attended a couple weeks ago now. And so for those of you who don't know, the New Leaders Conference is hosted by Beachbody in California, and you qualify by going 2-star or above. So last year we both promoted to 2-star, and so that way we got to qualify this February to go on the trip. So for those of you aiming to get there next year, which I know both Nicole and I would highly, highly recommend, it was such an amazing trip. You have to promote to 2-star this year or above, and so that will qualify to get you there next year. I'm gonna try not to cry. I think both of us can say that it was like such a roller coaster of emotions the entire trip. It was like 2 solid days of just cry fest for some reason. But so I'm going to try to go through this rather quickly because we have a ton of nuggets that we want to share with you guys, and there's a ton of different speakers, so we just want to at least touch a little bit on each of those. So jumping right into things. The first talk that we had was about setting the bar, and Michael Neiman led this talk. He really focused a lot on the leadership ladder. So maybe you guys have seen in the Project Fearless page today, there were a ton of promotions in the leadership ladder, which is so awesome. And I think Joan, in one of her promotions, she put there the FAQ to go, if you don't know what the leadership ladder is or you just want to learn more about it, definitely recommend going and checking that out. And just for, again, like last month for me personally, I didn't really know a ton about the leadership ladder. Like I knew what it was, and I knew that it was different benchmarks that would help you, you know, maybe in between rank goals or things like that. But I didn't really know where I was or what the next rung on the ladder was. So last month I was like, well, you know, my next goal is like, I want to be 5-star by Summit. How can I break that kind of big goal into like little more measurable, specific, tangible kind of goals that I can reach in a shorter time frame? And so that's when I was like, oh, leadership ladder, perfect. And so I looked on there, and you can look right on your Coach Online office, right on the dashboard to see, you know, where you are, what the next rung is, and what are the qualifications to rank up. And so for me, just quickly, last month, so I was a team builder and I really wanted to push to team leader. And it was amazing how just knowing what I needed to do, how much that pushed my business forward. Just the last week of the month. So for those of you who don't know, like team leader, one of the aspects of it is to get 5,000 team volume in your week leg. And I was averaging around like 2,500 maybe a month on a good month. And just because I wasn't thinking of placement and things like that when I was plugging people into my downline. And so it really helped focus where I was putting my coaches. And in the last week of the month, I over doubled what my average team cycle bonus was. So not only is it a great way to kind of push your business forward, but it's also a really good income booster as well. So highly recommend checking out the leadership ladder and making sure that you are telling your coaches what it is and engaging them to make sure that they're looking on how to level up as well. And then, do your coaches know the value of hitting Success Club? So I know for me, this was kind of a gut check because I was like, okay, I know that I tell them that it's a non-negotiable benchmark that they should be reaching every month and that they can win cool prizes, but am I really telling them the value behind Success Club and why it's important to hit it and how it's going to grow their business and how it's going to grow their income? So definitely make sure that you're not just telling your coaches to get into Success Club, but you're explaining the value behind it. And then get your challengers to see results, kind of get over the selling aspect and focusing on Success Club points, which I know can be hard because I myself find myself focusing more on Success Club points than what really is important, and that's getting those people results, and that's what is going to end up building the belief in this business. If you get your challengers results, you're not going to have to drag them along or let them know, hey, you're going to go inactive. Do you want, you need to order some Shakeology. If you get them results, they're going to be natural advocates of Beachbody. They're going to fall in love with this business and with these products, and you're not going to have to feel like you're dragging them along or pressuring them into making sure they're active at the end of the month. So yeah, they will become natural team leaders when you are helping them reach their goals. So, and just because someone decides to coach, don't forget about the reason they reached out to you in the first place. I don't know if any of you can relate, but I know a few of us were chatting at the conference, and for whatever reason, personally, if somebody signs up with me and they tell me that they just want to be a challenger, they just want to be a customer of mine, I'm like, okay, I put them in my challenge group, and I make sure that I'm reaching out to them enough so that I'm helping them reach their health and fitness goals. But the second they tell me that they want to build the business, I'm almost more focused on helping them build the business. So I'm reaching out to them and focusing more on, hey, did you get your power hour done? Did you post 3 to 5 times a day? How are your conversations going? And I'm almost forgetting the piece of, just because they want to build a business, don't forget, to help them reach their health and fitness goals as well. Not only is that the reason that we're in this business, but it's also, again, going to create those natural team leaders in your downline. So, and then I just really loved this quote that Michael said that really resonated with me. He said, "Do those that love you know how important your Beachbody business is to you? And if not, the people on your social media probably don't either." And that was just a really big gut check for me, because I don't think that the people, like my friends and family that are closest to me, know how important Beachbody is to me. I think that they think I do it just to earn an extra income on the side, or that it's just like a little hobby that I do. And so if that's what the people I love most think, then that's probably what the people on social media are getting from me, and maybe why I'm not attracting as many business builders as I would like to. So keep that in mind. Yeah.
Hey guys. Yeah, like Katie said, this leadership, I keep saying leadership retreat because we went to Joan's grandparents and it was so awesome. But it was amazing. Like the whole experience, like Katie said, it was really emotional, but we really got to dig deep into what it really means for us. And this past year I've been in a slump, so I really needed something like this to really test me and just get me thinking about why I started this journey. So for me, this was a really big trip for many different reasons. But just to continue on with our PowerPoint, we listened to Jeff Hill, who is the division president of global sales, and he talked about being going from good to great and what that actually means. But a lot that he talked about was really developing a culture of discipline. And the first bullet here talks about gut checks, daily, weekly, monthly, really digging in and seeing what it is that you're doing and what you can do better, and diving in and really just finding out who you are. And I really liked listening to him speak because I feel like a lot of his points really hit me. And this was one of his quotes: "Take a moment, look at your business. What are you getting is a direct reflection of what you are doing. So if you're not doing anything, you're not going to get anything out of it. If you're really working the business, you're going to see greater success." And that comes a lot through challenge groups. Challenge groups are huge. Keep in mind your vision. What do you want? What are you doing in the daily actions that are going to get you there? So if you're not doing anything, then it's not going to get you anywhere. So find out what you're passionate about, use that to fuel you forward. And he asked us questions when he was up there, and it really got us thinking, like, what are we meant to do in this world? Like, what are we here for? And this last bullet here, the vital behaviors, we talked a lot about that. And let's see, can I hit next, Katie, or? Okay, did that work? Okay. It's not showing up on mine.
It's not?
No.
It says what a difference a year makes at the top.
Hold on, my screen. Okay, well, okay, there it is. Hold on, my screen is all messed up. I'm sorry. All right, so what a difference a year makes. We got to listen to Ashley Smith, who is one of the top 10 coaches. And she basically started off by talking about leading ourselves and what we have to do as coaches to get our coaches really involved. And it all starts with us, and then helping others become leaders. And to do that, set measurable, tangible goals for yourself. She got into talking about elite points a little bit, about team volume and how many coaches do you want to help. She mentioned being really specific in the goals that you're setting. And I also liked how she talked about there being two different types of coaches. There's the busy coach that's working the business a ton, but the team's not really building. And then there's the productive coach that really sets timers, sets time for power hours, and then is organized. And the productive coach doesn't forget about the basics. So it's really just taking a look at yourself and what's best for your team, and passing that information along. Share you, don't try to be anybody else. You'll find great success in this business just by being authentically you. For posts especially, sometimes you see people that are going above and beyond on their posts and really making it about them, and that's what really attracts your brand. You want to attract people to you, not somebody else. So make it about you. Don't make it about anybody else. And give people a glimpse inside your daily life, what you're doing, what will attract them to you, how can they connect with you. And sharing you doesn't have to be half Beachbody and half your life. It should overlap and combine. It shouldn't be, I want to be a good mom, but I also want to be a good coach. They aren't separate. If you are a good coach, you'll be a good mom, a good person. And she talked about that a lot. She has one child and one on the way, I believe. And she basically just said that in order for Beachbody to work, she would have to make that her life and make it into one. It's not something that's going to be separate. She needs to figure out how to incorporate it, and that's what she's done. Shift your mindset. Coaching is a gift, not a job. You get to help change somebody's life. So, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. It's like, yeah, so it's, did you just?
No, I went back, sorry.
It's okay. I'm sorry. My computer, for some reason, it's like delaying for me. I don't know what's going on. But we can go to the next slide.
I'm going to mute Katie for a minute, Nicole, because I think when you're talking and she can hear it, that's why you're hearing yourself. So, Katie, when you go to talk again, unmute yourself.
Okay, well, I'm going to talk now. So I'm going to mute Nicole. Or Nicole, mute yourself.
I can move.
All right, so the next part was developing a leadership mindset by Micah Folsom. And for some reason, out of all the people that presented at the conference, for whatever reason, I really resonated with her the most, probably. And she talked a lot about leadership mindset and empowering your coaches and things like that. And I think that probably because I think that's the area of opportunity for me personally where I need to grow and focus the most. So all of those talks were really awesome. And so this one really focused on how the belief really starts with you. You need to focus on your growth journey. It has to be top priority. So your health and fitness journey, your personal development journey, your leadership journey, all of that stuff has to be top priority. And because in true belief in this business is something that you need to have if you expect, to lead a team of coaches to success, then you need to really believe in this business and believe in yourself. And this was probably one of the things that stuck out in my mind the most out of the entire conference. It said, she said, "Do you believe this business can change anyone's life?" And when she first said that, I was like, duh. And then she followed it up with saying, "But do you believe it can change your life?" And for some reason, I had to think about that. And how can you answer the first question and be like, well, yeah, obviously I know this opportunity can change anyone's life. But then when you think, do you truly believe that it can change your life? And so for me just questioning that, I knew that that means that I need to really deep dive into personal development and get my belief up. Again, the belief starts with you. And if you want to lead your team, then you need to believe in yourself and that you can be a leader and that you can be successful in this business. So that really resonated with me. And then once you have the belief, that's where it all starts. And then from there, you can just follow it up with the basics and the vital behaviors. Show up when you feel like it, and show up especially when you don't. That's what's going to set you apart from the 400 plus thousand other coaches out there. And so all the successful coaches in this business work this business when they don't want to. They work it like a business and not like a hobby. So if you want to be successful in this business, you got to do that too. I liked when she said that a gritty leader doesn't care who they talk to about Beachbody. They talk to everybody and they're always sharing about it. They don't prejudge anybody. They don't not reach out to somebody because they're scared or it's a stranger and they never talked to them before. They don't care. They know that Beachbody is an amazing opportunity and they're constantly sharing it and not wondering, oh, what's this person going to think about me? They don't care. They're going to talk to everybody about Beachbody. And so if you want to be, a really successful leader, then again, that's something that you should be doing as well. Coaches will do what you do, not what you tell them. Are you leading by example? And I know I hear this a lot, but she mentioned it too. Be the coach that you'd want in your downline. Are you hitting Success Club every month? Are you doing the daily activities that are going to make you a successful coach? Because if the answer is no, then you can't expect your downline or the people in your team to be doing that. You really need to lead by example. I also liked, for me, I think you can probably take this next quote different ways, but for me, she said, the people who got you here likely aren't the ones who will get you to your next goal. And I just loved that because actually the people who helped qualify me for this trip or, that I got 2-star actually both had fallen from rank at that time. And one is no longer even coaching. So it really made me stop and think, just because, some people got me to a certain point doesn't mean I need to focus on those people. You need to make sure that if you want to grow your business and really run with this thing, that you're reaching out to more people and you're finding more running buddies and finding the people that want to run this business and not just relying on those people that you have, because you never know when you're not going to have them. So, and love your coaches by understanding their goals and meeting them at their pace. So I think she said something like, if just because you want to go say 5-star, that doesn't mean that you're reaching out to 3 of your discount coaches and saying, hey, let's get you going. Watch this orientation video and do this, and this is what you need to do to go diamond. Like, no, you need to understand what their goals are, what they want in this business, and then meeting them again at their pace. So, And the next speaker was Melanie. She talked to us on how to become a master planner. And she said, you need to keep the mindset that you are the CEO of your own business. Don't wait for your upline to reach out to you and say, did you get your power hour in? Or how your conversation's going? Or did you make sure that you friended 5 new people today? Or how many invites did you get? That's awesome if you have an upline like that that's helping you push your business along, but don't wait for them in order to do those daily activities that you need to do to be successful. You are the CEO of your own business, and keep that in mind when you're sitting down to get to work, that this is your business and you don't need to do it on somebody else, on what somebody else tells you to do. Make sure you have a clear set plan so that you're hitting targets as you go. So if you know you want to be, again, 5-star by Summit, then make sure you're taking, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, that you're reflecting and you're saying, okay, so how many of my coaches hit Success Club, and seeing if you're on target to hit that goal of whatever you're looking to reach. So giving yourself that time to really review where you are and seeing if it's going to match you to where you want to go. And be an original, not a copy. I think Nicole kind of touched on that too. As many Beachbody friends as you probably have on your Facebook friends have probably just as many Beachbody coaches, and so they don't want to see the same thing over and over again. Make sure you're being original and that you're attracting people to you. Take the time to figure out your target audience. Look at yourself before Beachbody and speak directly to them. I know that we hear that a lot, but it was, again, another good gut check, because I think when I'm posting, I'm just kind of posting to everybody and I'm not specifically thinking of the person that I was before Beachbody. And I know when Melanie said that when she was first getting started, she saw that a coach that was successful was posting this Beachbody challenge, or bikini ready challenge. And so she tried that and she got like 0 people to join her challenge group, because she wasn't talking to people that was going to be attracted to her. Once she was like, okay, who am I? I'm a mother. I'm, not looking for a 6-pack. I'm just wanting to eat healthy and look good in a pair of jeans. And once she started really focusing on that person, that's when she really started seeing great success in this business. Plan out your month so you know how you're going to be posting. This was probably another one of my biggest takeaways from this conference. I definitely don't take the time to set my month up. I just kind of wing it. So if I hear, in Project Fearless, hey, we're going to do a sneak peek tomorrow, it's like, oh crap, I got to make sure I get my post up, and an hour before the group starts, invite 10 to 15 people or whatever. Well, imagine if you started advertising that group 7 to 10 days in advance. If you're getting 10 to 20 people in an hour before the sneak peek, how many people would you get if you actually started advertising that a week in advance? And that goes for your challenge groups and everything else too. Don't just throw up a post and say you're starting the challenge group tomorrow. Make sure that you're planning your month out so that you can plan your posts out around all of those as well. And I just like this quote: if you're bored with your content, people probably are too. This goes for your Facebook page, your challenge groups, your training groups, all that stuff. Make sure you're staying relevant and excited, and keep what works and scrap what doesn't. And this was an example of her calendar. So again, the first day of the month, she's got her coach trainings, and so she's the week before that promoting for that. And the second her group starting, she's already taking that week to promote for her challenge group and her clean eating group and things like that. So again, just making sure that you're planning your week, and then that way it gives you time in advance to advertise for those groups. And I have better ones of these too. They actually gave us handouts of a couple of these things that I'll post in the team page as well. And then the next part was Arnall. Joan tried to teach me how to say that like 10 times. I don't know why I can't get it. But anyway, so he talked about your freedom number. And this was one of the I think I've said this like 10 times, but this was one of the coolest parts of the conference. Was in my head, I always tell myself, like, in order to replace my income, or in order to be a full-time Beachbody coach, I need to replace my income. And that's not necessarily true. And I guess I never really thought about it this way before. He suggested that you take your past 6 months of expenses, and I mean your actual expenses, not oh, I spent $600 out to eat, or this is how much it would cost to pay all of the bills. I mean, what do you actually contribute? Take out what your husband or whoever contributes. What do you actually need to spend to survive and pay all your bills in a month? Take the last 6 months, average that number, and then add 10%. And that's what your monthly income goal needs to be. And you can put it into this, again, I'll post this in the team page, but you can put your freedom number into this cycle bonus calculator. It'll actually show you the volume that you need in like your weak leg and your strong leg and things to get you to that goal. So I haven't even really checked this out, but I know that they're going to be promoting it a lot more. It was kind of like the first run through of them sharing, but I can't wait to take a look at that, because I think that's going to be awesome for a lot of us. Because I know even just chatting with people at the conference, they were like, oh my God, I never even thought of that before. Why did I think I have to replace my entire income? That's going to take me a lot longer than really just covering my expenses. So that was an awesome takeaway. And then the next section was developing engaged and passionate coaches, again by Micah. And she said, have you created a culture where people want to show up? So are you posting uplifting and motivating, inspiring things in your team page? Or, are you just posting content just to post content? I think I'm guilty of that sometimes. Like, I haven't posted today, I guess I'll just Google an FAQ that seems important and just like post it in the page. Make sure that the content that you are sharing with your team is something that they're going to be wanting to engage with, or make sure that your team calls have important enough information and it's a culture that people are so excited to attend the team calls and just like, oh, I have to go on that team call on Monday. You are a leader. Again, this is another huge takeaway for me. Make sure you're acting like a leader to your coaches. I know for me, Project Fearless has amazing resources. And so I know a lot of us kind of just tag our new coaches in the orientation video, it works, but you can always take that video that Joan has provided us and make it your own, so that when you are inviting or you are introducing new people to your team, like they're seeing your face, they're seeing you as their leader. And you can run your own challenge groups and create your own videos not challenge groups, obviously, running your own challenge groups, but you can run your own training groups and make your own videos for those training groups as well. So again, you are the leader, and you're showing your team that you're their leader. Make sure you understand how your coaches are going to get motivated. So if your coaches really like to be uplifted and patted on the back, make sure you're not giving them tough love to help motivate them, because it's probably going to have the negative effect. Make sure no matter whether they decide to build a business or not, you're helping them reach their health and fitness goals. Again, that was something else that we had already chatted about, but it was reiterated throughout the entire conference. And are you connecting with your coaches on a personal level? Or is it just kind of about, are you checking in with them only about the business, or only when they're going to be inactive, or only when they're going to drop rank? Do you know who their husband is? Do you know their kids' names? Do you know their dogs' names? Like, they aren't just part of your business. They're part of your community. They're part of your tribe. So make sure that you're really about the people and that you're connecting with them more on a personal level than just like a business kind of relationship. And learn how to empower your coaches to be their own leaders and be the CEO of their own business. Duplicate systems to share with your team. Don't just do it for them or have them follow everything you do. Those last two bullets definitely resonated with me, because I think I'm tend to want to like do things for other people instead of saying, okay, well, if somebody sends me a screenshot of a conversation, I just instantly write back what to say, instead of saying, okay, well, what do you think you should say? And really empower them to be coaches, so that, they're going to be their own leaders and not just kind of using you for everything.
All right, so Ashley Smith started talking about goals a little bit, and she asked us, what are your personal goals? What are your business goals? Just to get us to really think about setting goals not only for yourself but for your team. Do they align with your vision? Don't be afraid to dream big. Who cares if you fail? Keep going. And if there were no barriers in your life, what would it look like? So we're going to have obstacles that come into our lives no matter what. That's what life's all about. But it's how we respond and how we take that failure to push us forward. I really liked her quote, when you don't want to work your business, that's like saying to your family that they're not worthy. That's like looking at your team and telling them they're not a priority. And then having a call to action for your posts, having a call to action to join a group, or whether it be financial or personal or anything like that, just always having something to get them to join this Beachbody family of ours. Katie, you want to hit next? Thanks. And then Melanie Mitro started talking again about effective time management and life balance. And I really liked when she was talking about setting up your non-negotiables and writing those down, and what would those be for you. And she has working out as one of her non-negotiables, because working out helps you all around. So she had like working out, she set family time, and she literally like maps out like 5 hours in the day just to be with her family. And you see the number one coach in the company doing this, and you must think like she's working 24/7, working the business nonstop, but she really does set out a schedule, and she's a professional at it. So it was really nice to see how she plans out her days and even her weeks. I liked how she said, learn to say no. We hear that, but it's really true. You can't say yes to everything, and if you do, then you're not going to be able to get to where you want to be. Kind of talked about this before, setting goals. What do you want to accomplish? How will that make you feel? And have a reason behind your goals that will push you to reach them. Set work hours and share them with your family. She uses Google Calendar, and she shares that with her husband, so he can see exactly what she's doing for the week and where he may need to help out. So if you have a busy family, something like that may be good, and to talk with your spouse or significant other about what your week will look like. So if you're really busy, they can maybe take some of the housework or chores or whatever off your shoulders. Turn off notifications. I know that it's really tempting to look at our phones all the time and scroll through social media, but it really helps to turn off notifications and just dial in and focus on what the task is. And set a timer. She mentioned that you will get anxious feeling. You will get an anxious feeling when you're out of balance, and that's so true. I've been getting really anxious lately, and it's because I'm not balanced right now. Like there's so many things, so many moving pieces, and you just have to have some sort of structure. And then we listened to Kim Carver talk a little bit about Coach Basics. And he mentioned that for new coaches at the beginning, it's important to teach the 4 vital behaviors, which is be proof that the product works, invite recognition in your team, and personal development. And it can be even like recognition can be a transformation or promoting, signing a coach, any little thing that can really get them going. He talked about repetition and not overcomplicating the process and the fundamentals of the business, because it really is simple when you think about it. And that kind of goes hand in hand with duplicating systems that can be taught and using what we've already learned from our upline. apply what you learned, overcome obstacles, and succeed. That's basically the cycle that he was talking about. And it's the start that stops most people. So a lot of people are afraid to even get going. So it's our job as coaches to really be there for them and get them over the hurdles that may arise in the beginning. Because it's common for people to drop off in the beginning because they don't think that they can do it. But once you keep going, it'll get easier.
And the last thing, this was a theme that we were doing throughout the entire conference. I think it was my favorite part about the conference and probably why I cried for 2 days straight. But every speaker who took the stage, whether it was somebody from corporate or one of the top coaches or the random other people that they had guest speaking, they had them say one word that represented Beachbody, like why Beachbody or what does Beachbody mean to you? And so I just wanted to highlight something that Doug Moss said, because I think that's what made me cry probably the most in the entire conference. I think his word was everything. And so he was just saying, behind every challenge pack sale, behind every Success Club point, truly remember what this business is all about and remember what those numbers represent or what that commission sale really represents. It's a person, it's a life. And so he was sharing with us that he's like, I was that person that had to buy, 2 plane seats because I couldn't fit in just one, or I was the one who waited hours in line with my kids at Disney World just to get to the front of the line and be told that we couldn't go on the ride because I didn't fit. And so it was just, he was bawling. I'm pretty sure everybody was bawling in the room. And it really made you remember what this business is all about. And you can get hung up in the Success Club points and all that stuff, but it was just amazing to remember what this business is really all about and how it helped change his life and all the lives that we're helping change as well. And then Jeff Hill was sharing a story about how he has like a crap ton of kids and they are scattered all throughout or whatever. So whenever they see each other or they visit, if one is getting ready to leave and say the other one is sleeping, they'll always write with a permanent marker like XO on their hands just to leave their mark and so that they know that they were there. And, Beachbody, we're all leaving our mark. We all had a marker at our stations. And so since everybody, that was coming to the stage was answering that question, why Beachbody in one word? What does it mean to you? And so, in one word, we just wrote on our hand what Beachbody meant to us. And I think that's another, teary moment for like everybody is really thinking about what this opportunity has done for us and what it truly means to us. And for me, my word was freedom. And so what really made me, even at the conference, I knew that it was freedom, and it means so much, that one word, freedom to travel or freedom to be with my family when I want to be with my family, financial freedom, be able, so that word can mean so many different things. But for me, I really saw what the big picture was when I was floating around at the Madison. Joan's grandparents, she invited us down to visit in the desert with her family, and we went to their like country club, and I was floating around in this pool on a flamingo, pink flamingo, and I was FaceTiming my niece. And this is the screenshot that I took of the look on her face when she saw where I was. And so this to me is why I'm a coach, is to be able to bring her to somewhere amazing like we got to go, or to show her all the crazy, amazing things that this life has to offer. And Beachbody is going to allow me the freedom to spend as much time with her as I want, and to show her how great this world can really be when you have an amazing opportunity to allow you to get there.
Katie, you're making everybody cry. I don't think you'll shed any tears with mine, but this is kind of funny. I woke up the day after I wrote my word, which was purpose, on my hand, and I don't know if you can really see it, but I had it smeared across my whole entire face. So I had purpose written, cat your face. I had purpose not only on my hand, but on the side of my face, and it didn't really come out that well. So purpose was my word, and I feel like, I don't know, the word purpose can really go in many different directions, but when I think of my purpose as a Beachbody coach, I think of helping others, not only through fitness, but helping them find themselves and at the same time find myself. And it's something that inspires me and then in turn inspires others. So I've been trying to really dig deep into what this business means for me and the purpose behind it. And those are some of the things that I think of. So I think that's the end of our call. And we had an awesome trip. We learned so many things. And Katie, I don't know if you want to jump in to say goodbye, or if anybody has anything that they want to talk about.
Yeah, does anybody have any questions or anything? I feel like we sped through that, but
I like the bathroom.
I just had one thing I wanted to ask. Okay, I'm not repeating anymore. Why, in both of your opinions, why should someone want to shoot to be at New Leaders Conference or a leadership conference like this? Like, you know, aside from everything that you learned and what you took away from it, was it being around other leaders? Was it being around corporate? Was it taking the headquarters tour? Like, what one thing would you pull out and recommend why somebody would want to go to a leaders conference like that?
that's a good question. I mean, I just loved how it was like such a smaller kind of community than just like Summit. It's huge and you learn so much, and it's almost a lot of the information is for like newer coaches and kind of basic information. And this conference was like, I mean, it was just so emotional and real and raw, and like, you know, even at the parties, like Jeff Hill was walking around, he really wanted to know who you were and get to know you, and it really made you realize like this business, like they care about all of us. It's not just, I don't know, it was just the experience alone. Take away the trainings and all that stuff, just being there and touring the Beachbody headquarters. Like they let us go through his entryway, and it's like where he just writes all over the wall. We should have had a picture of that on here. I forgot all about that. And I literally like had goosebumps all over my body. Like it was just so surreal to just all of his like motivational thoughts or just random quotes and things. It was just like so amazing. That alone, walking through that hallway is a reason enough to get there.
Yeah, I agree. And everything that you said, Ryan, I feel like it's everything compiled into one that made the experience so great. And it felt like you were part of like an elite group. And like Katie said, it did seem so intimate in the fact that they were just walking around, and we're so used to these big events with Summit and all of that we don't really get the chance to have an opportunity like this. So I feel like it's a once in a lifetime thing and something that you should really strive to get to.
I have a question. Who's going to be there next year? Look at those hands. Meg's like, me, I'm going back.
I'm just glad Katie didn't call it a pink swan again. She
I
actually.
really had to stop myself. I was like,
I know. I could tell.
I don't know.
Nice job, ladies. I will go ahead and put the recording up to YouTube tonight and try to get it in the team page as soon as possible. Hey, your slides were really great though in terms of like notes, just for somebody to be able to even just like ponder through. Do you guys want to put the actual PowerPoint prezo in the team page in the files section so people can just kind of like poke through that?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Cool. Rad. All right. Thanks, guys. Have an awesome night.
Bye, guys.